What's going on, everybody? 404 back again. Another StarCraft 2 commentary. This time looks like EGDeMusliM spawning as the teal, light blue, whatever you want to call it, Terran player on the east side of Metalopolis, and aTnSocke spawning as the purple Protoss on the western side of Metalopolis. This is, I believe, a best of 3 series on the European server. Both the very highly respected players, and more importantly, a PvT, which is probably one of my favorite matchups to watch. Socke here, he is a 3,400 point, 65% win ratio Protoss player, and a 3,600 point, 70% win ratio Terran over here. Of course, both in the Masters League. Like I said, this is a best of 2, or a best of 3, not a best of 2. That would be retarded. A best of 3, and it looks like maybe from the ESL Cup. I'm not positive on that, and I know I always say that, but I really don't know. I just cast the games because I like to watch them. If it was part of any big tournament, I would just cast the whole tournament, and if it's a huge tournament, I wouldn't cast it because it would take too long. So yeah, that's that. One thing I would like to almost try that again. One thing I'd like to redirect you guys to is my website, which is 909.net. It's actually 909.net, spelled out, all letters, of course. That is where you can find all the latest news about 909 Gaming. And what are we, you might ask? Well, we are just a gaming community. It's a really small community. It's just a couple guys post on the blog, and a couple of us upload videos to the 909 Gaming channel on YouTube, which is where you're probably watching this. And yeah, we just like to have a good time. We like to play video games. I believe I'm the only StarCraft 2 player. Lots of people play Call of Duty. I play World of Warcraft. Just a variety, and we post blogs on different stuff. Some of it doesn't even really pertain to gaming and things like that. So yeah, go check that out. And looks like Socke is gonna go for a 2 gas. So looks like he's going to be sticking on one base for just a while. Cybernetics Core is warping in. Wants to have enough gas for that Stalker and that Warp Gate as soon as the Cyber Core finishes. So very fun build there. And over here at the base of EGDeMusliM, looks like he's getting that Tech Lab on the barracks there. Going to be getting out of Marauder. Doesn't look like we are going to see a factory just quite yet. We're going to see a Concussive Shell and a Marauder being trained. So very nice timing on that as well. And yeah, as soon as that finished, we did see the Warp Gates and the Stalker being chrono boosted out. Probe, or SCV rather, wisely just escapes. Doesn't want to get caught up in that, as the SCV will most certainly lose that battle. Looks like we are going to do a 1-Rax into Fast Expand, which is a very nice Protoss build. And yeah, one thing to note, this is cross position, so you know, early expansion isn't a bad thing to do. And maybe Socke, maybe EGDeMusliM rather, expects Socke to do that. And indeed, Socke isn't going to do that. He's going to throw down that Star Gate. He's going to throw down another gateway, get his tech up, maybe get some Void Rays or Phoenixes out, and do some early pressure early on, and then expand, because of course any kind of unit that comes out of a Stargate costs a lot of gas, and leaves those minerals for expanding. Looks like 2 Marine, 1 Marauder, 1 SCV going to push out across the map. Maybe build a bunker. I do not think that will work though, but of course I'm neither one of these players, and if I was the Muslim, I would think that would work. Gonna check for the expansion, see nothing there, and yeah, maybe just go ahead and throw down a bunker or something there. But there is a looks like there is a sentry out now for Socke. We'll be able to force field that ramp. Very nice force field. Gonna trap that SCV, get a free kill there. And all their units for Socke do remain alive here. Looks like these, excuse me, the Warp Gates out of the Cybernetics Core does finish. Both these are going to be transforming very, very shortly. Void Ray is out now, though, so only 1 Marine to shoot that Void Ray. And this attack will be thwarted away. Socke doing the right thing, or rather, EGDeMusliM rather doing the right thing, going for those probes. Once you're in a situation like that, you might as well. And it does look like Void Ray is going to make its way out across the map, and we did see 2 more racks being thrown down, as well as a 4th rack. So I thought that was a factory. It's 4 racks, 2 bunkers. EGDeMusliM knows that if there's a proxy pylon somewhere, that there can be a lot of units warped in. as well as the air dominance that aTnSocke is going to have with the Void Rays, and can also transition into Phoenix at any time. So this one Void Ray is going to make its way across the map. Stim pack not yet finished for EGDeMusliM here, so can be very, very annoying all day long with this Void Ray. 1, 2, 3, 4 Marines still wouldn't kill this, but actually 6 will, so aTnSocke needs to get that Void Ray out of there. Does not want to lose that Void Ray, very, very expensive. But the ground force for aTnSocke has arrived at the front door of EGDeMusliM. Going to be putting some pressure on there. While this Void Ray does some work in the back, picks off a mule there, so very nicely done. Looks like 1 Marine, 2 Marines there, but the Void Ray is down to some very, very low hit points. Looks like early pressure was put on, but EGDeMusliM now fully mining off 2 bases, trying to get it saturated. Due to the chrono boost nature of Protoss players, aTnSocke is still ahead in Harvesters, securing his second expansion. Our first expansion, second base. Going to be able to even get more and more probes, even get a Twilight Council, so we might see Blink, Zealot Legs being researched, and even chrono boosted out. So I can't really stress how what a good upgrade Zealot Legs are. Zealots are very, very powerful, and the legs with the speed just makes them that much more predominant. So again, both players setting up for a macro game. Looks like EGDeMusliM has been running off a second base for just a little bit longer. This Void Ray might go down. Lots of Marines there. Stimpack still not quite finished. And pulling up the production tab, it looks like it is almost finished. And once it finishes, that Void Ray will go down. But it does go down regardless. But one thing to note, EGDeMusliM still only own 1 gas. And as I say that, he throws down 2 more. Still chooses not to get that gas up here for some reason, salvaging the 2 bunkers at his main here. But looky here, we do have DTs, or a Dark Shrine rather, being warped in for aTnSocke here in the back. Don't think that has been scouted yet. It has not been scouted, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. This one low hit point Void Ray can poke over here, maybe pick off a Rax or something like that, since the army of EGDeMusliM is pushing out across the map. I don't think aTnSocke has enough to deal with this. That's a lot of units. If this Dark Shrine can finish, where is it at? If this Dark Shrine can finish fast enough, should be able to get out some units, but this is a very, very large force for EGDeMusliM. Should see some probes pulled off the line, possibly. Very nice force fields, though, sandwiching a lot of those units. A lot of them do go down, but there's still a ton of Marines left. Able to scoot and shoot micro with that stim ability from EGDeMusliM, but Zealot Legs, more Zealots being warped in, even DTs being warped in now, so yeah, this attack will be thwarted away. Even though it doesn't look like there's a huge ground force for aTnSocke here, there really is. These DTs, oh, sorry about that, these DTs will be able to just get kill after kill, and even force EGDeMusliM over here to use a scan, or even throw down. Doesn't even have, okay, he does have a factory. Doesn't yet have a star port going down. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, there's a starport up here. So yeah, starport just now going to go down. Going to force that Raven to come out, and even going to force the missile turrets, I'm sure, to stop anything from, or stop those DTs from killing anything. So yeah, there goes the missile turret. So really not so much for air, but for the detection. The DTs should be making their way across any time now. Maybe. Wow, sorry about that. Maybe just going to spot the Terran army for the Protoss player here, and aTnSocke securing his 3rd expansion here. He's definitely in the predominant spot, forcing the Terran player to set up a lot of defenses here. It looks like maybe 1 DT did run in here, or maybe just scanning just for the hell of it. We will have to see what EGDeMusliM decides to do after this. Just looks like Marauders and Marines here, switching that starport out on that tech lab. Like I said, maybe going to be getting that Raven out. Does not look like there's a Raven out yet. So yeah, anybody's game still. We're just going to have to see what's going on. And it looks like if the battle was to go down right now, it looks like EGDeMusliM does have the scarier force here. Maybe needs to get some medevacs in here so we can get those trained up very nicely. Or wow, I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. I just completely lost my mind. Maybe we can get some medevacs so we can get those units very nicely healed as he pushes out for this attack. But the Raven still isn't here, and it looks like EGDeMusliM is going to push out across the map, and I don't think that he should do this. He does have enough for a scan, I guess, but he will not have enough for scan after scan, and it looks like some nice storms going to go down on top of all these units. One nice storm, one decent storm there. We show the bars on those units there. Very nice force field is going to cut those units in half. stop them from scoot and shoot running away. It looks like the Muslim does split those units up. Going to go for some probes, as well as try to clean up this army of SC2 here. Even running some units up here, going to try to take down that Nexus. I don't know where the DTs went, but they should be around here somewhere trying to get some kills. Looks like this one Templar does have enough for a storm, so should place down a storm right around there. We'll soften up a lot of those units and even kill quite a few. Looks like the units do come with the lamp. Going to try to steal, stem and kill that Templar there. Does indeed kill that Templar, so was not able to get that storm off. And one expansion does go down for SC2. A second one could actually go down as well, as SC2 just does not have the units to deal with this. He does warp in one DT up here to wipe up that force, and looks like Zealots being warped down the low ground was able to clean up the rest of the units from the Muslim here. So, wow, a very nice attack by the Muslim. I don't think SC2 was ready for that. He is trying to chrono boost out the Cadarian Amulet for his Templars so he can get that storm off as soon as they warp in. But income-wise, it does look like 33 harvesters, 256 harvesters. SC2 way behind, getting these extra gateways, but they're now pretty much useless, as he really cannot support them. I guess he could always warp in a bunch of Zealots, but the Templars are not going to be able to warp in very fast. All these probes should evacuate out of there, as this Nexus is pretty much going to go down. Nice storm there on top of all those Marines and Marauders. This one Raven is going to give sight on any of those DTs, so DT is definitely not going to be as useful as they would be. Even though some of these units getting stuck on the auto turn, which is not a good way to spend your units. This one Templar doesn't have enough energy for a storm there, and as soon as these gases do complete, it does look like they will go down. So SC2 not in the best spot at all, running off one base, really pretty much just half a base, as these units are almost, these fields are almost mined out rather. Pulling up the army tab, yeah, SC2 way behind, only about half the supply of the Muslim here, so I do expect the Muslim to take this game. Nice storm there, units walking into it, should turn these probes around and throw them into this battle here. But wow, SC2 able to hold that off a lot better than I expected. But it does look like the Muslim is going to be going for this gold expansion here. Must have been a DT up here doing some kind of work, as there was a scan going off here, and 3 missile turrets being thrown down. So kind of overkill on the missile turrets, and SC2 even has about 1,000 minerals, or gas rather. But hold that thought, there is a huge battle going down here in the main. Wow, should have seen those Templars morph into an Archon, as they are just going to go die. Very expensive unit to lose. And they could also get some shots off onto that medevac. Now the medevac does pick up those 2 Marauders, but the Void Ray is out. Even throwing down a auto turret here in the back. There's so much action going on, I'm losing my mind. This is very hard to do, but again, I am trying to get better at this. This Raven still here, just going to be, I guess, just spotting that. Who the heck knows? More Marines and Marauders, as that's just what the Muslim does like to stick to. But there is another drop here in the main. The Muslim all over the map here, but there are storms and speed lots all over the place here. EMP feedbacks on those medevacs there. Wouldn't be a wise idea to pick up any of those units in there, as one medevac does go down. Some very nice micro by the Muslim there. Going to force these Zealots to chase after these units here. And since there isn't anything out on the field to deal with this, but there is now Void Ray here to deal with that, does easily go down. So kind of threw away some units there, the Muslim did. And I'm not sure if SC2 does see this Raven here. Very pesky Raven there. Very expensive Raven. The Muslim does not want to lose that, because the DTs are still a threat here. Shrine is still in play. But again, I think SC2 really doesn't have much ground to stand on. He has a bunch of production units. He just doesn't have any harvesters. If we pull up the income tab, 41, 268, and it does look like SC2 is going to push out, or the Muslim is going to push out across the map. Even has a planetary fortress at this gold here, so this isn't going anywhere. And lots of these units are going to push out across the map. Once again, even have these medevacs that should maybe pick up these units to ferry them over, as there was a small drop over here, and this Archon able to soak up a lot of that damage. But it does look like these Marauders are focusing the speed lots, and I do think this attack will get mopped up by SC2, but not before SC2 kills a lot of units, forcing these feedbacks and storms off on all these Terran units. Another nice storm on all these units trying to funnel in here. Maybe going to go for a Nexus snipe, as there are more Zealots being warped in. Tons of minerals there for the Muslim here, and SC2 is just barely hanging on just by a thread, and I do expect him to GG out of this game just any time now. One last ditch effort, going to morph in an Archon, even a couple more Zealots to try to wipe this up. Again, those Elvets with legs are very, very powerful, especially against Marauders. They try to stem, but these medevacs are pretty much drained out of energy, not able to immediately heal them, as you do see them do a lot of times. So Sock really needs to get a third base. He's pretty much mined out here, but again, he doesn't have the harvesters. He doesn't have the income to afford another base, as EGDeMusliM keeps on putting on all this pressure here. EGDeMusliM even going to secure a fourth base, as he is completely mined out at his main, working on being mined out at his natural here, working on about 70 harvesters there. So there is another drop here. Going to drop and stem and take out this pylon here. Didn't stem actually, but going to try to maybe take out that pylon, but the force of Sock has pushed up the ramp. EGDeMusliM dropping more and more units into this base here. So annoying. This one Templar here can actually get off 2 storms, but only gets off 1 before it dies. And yeah, there are lots of units here for both players, but at any time EGDeMusliM could just pick up all these units, as there's really not anything for air. Actually, there is this one Templar here that could get off a really nice what's it called, feedback there, and it does indeed get that feedback off. Medevac only down to about 10 hit points, and that attack was awarded off. So Sock doing a very, very nice job. He doesn't have the economy to keep up this the entire game. EGDeMusliM able to just keep on putting pressure after pressure after pressure, and Sock just now going to go try to take that third base, but this huge force of EGDeMusliM is pushed out across the map. Army size showing about double to triple the size there. Units do stem. I'm going to go up here and try to take this out just about 1 shot, and I think the cancel did get off on that. Yeah, it was canceled. More Zealots should be warping in down here. Archons as well. These 2 Templars, 3 Templars are going to try to get off a bunch of storms, and if Sock can hold this off, that'll be very, very nice, but I don't think he'll be able to do that. 1 missed storm there isn't what you want to do when you're trying to barely hang on to a game like this. These units being microed very nicely. However, these over here are going down pretty quickly. This one Archon there not doing the best against that attack there, and that was my phone ringing. And it does look like Sock does GG out of the game. This is a best of 3 series. Stay tuned for the second game, as I do have to take this phone call, and I'll see you guys next time.